Barco Record, a podcast network.
What is up, everybody? How you doing? Thank you for checking out the Pat Out of Hell podcast. I am your host, Patrick Christopher. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Just thank you in general. Check. 1 2 1 2. What is this? Your money or your life? And I'm like, what's the difference? Yeah, dude. Chilling, mad chilling. And like we do always. On the Pat Out of Hell podcast, we're going to start with show dates. Yeah. I got a lot to go over this episode. Not really, but I'm just stalling for time. So June 23rd, Slacking Off Showcase at Slackers Brewing Co. in Austin, Texas. That's going to be at 8 p.m. June 24th, 8 p.m., we got Fantastic Damage. Fantastic Damage, that's the storytelling show that I host at the Blind Tiger Comedy Club. So, yeah, that's at 8 p.m. June 24th, also at the Blind Tiger Comedy Club, I will be on the Wonderliner show that's hosted by Brendan Potter, my homie. That's at 10 p.m. At the Blind Tiger Comedy Club. So you can see me at 8 p.m. on Fantastic Damage, and then stick around to catch me on the Wonderliner show at 10 p.m. And then I might stick around and do the midnight. We'll see. I don't know how much energy I'll have left after the Fantastic Damage, after Wonderliners, but you could catch me on the midnight show on Friday as well at the Blind Tiger Comedy Club. June 25th, Let's Talk About It. That's at Casa Moreno's in Austin, Texas. That's at 7 p.m. And then June 29th, I'm doing some type of music/comedy show. Well, I'm just doing the comedy part, but they're going to have like a music and comedy show. That's at Upstage Comedy Lounge at 8 p.m., June 29th. I'll have more details on that as it comes through. But those are my dates for June. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Again, I'm still working out all the kinks and stuff with this new setup. I'm very technologically not with it. I am not. I'm a big proponent of plug and play, plug and go, plug and start, and certain situations it's not like that. It's not like that. For instance, the camera setup, and I'm just like I've seen like a bunch of YouTube videos. Like that's my university, YouTube University, and I've learned a lot. And then when I go to apply the things that I thought that I heard or the things that I thought that I learned, I'm just like, well, how come it doesn't look like it looks like on TV? And then I get upset and I cry a little bit. I was like, why am I so stupid? I shouldn't be so stupid anymore. And people could see me being stupid because why does it look like that, bro? Why does it look all like grainy and stuff? I'm learning. I gotta learn software. I gotta learn the computer. I gotta learn the connections. I gotta learn all this stuff, dude. And I thought I was done learning. As soon as I graduated high school, I was like, and I went to college for a little bit, but that's just because my mom made me. And then I was like, she's like, just do a semester. Just try a semester, see if you like it. I knew going in that I wasn't going to do it. I just went so I could say that I did a semester, and then she would be like, all right, well, you're an adult now. You could do whatever you want. And then I stopped going to school. And I think, looking back on it now, I think that was a really poor decision on my part. Because now learning anything, it's so stressful to me because I gave up. I gave up on learning stuff. I was like, whatever I know now, I know, and that's all I'm gonna need to know for the rest of my life. And then I didn't realize technology was gonna take off, and being able to read and comprehend and understand uh, the new world that was approaching, the new world that it was going to be. You know, everything's on your phone, everything's online, everything is, you know, takes a certain set of skills to know. And I'm just like, damn, how come nobody told me? Oh, they did? They tried telling me that? Oh, okay. How come I didn't listen? Uh, so that's where we're on that. Let me open this up real quick. I'm opening up a fucking a ranch water. Ugh. Trying this ranch water, which tastes horrible. Topo Chico's. I'm a big fan of your sparkling mineral water. Huge fan. Like the one with the lime twist on it. Huge fan of that. Your ranch water, not a fan. I gotta tell you that. I gotta tell you that. Well, I don't have to tell you that, but I'm gonna tell you that because it is a Pat at Help podcast, and all I do here is complaints and observations and catching up with what's going on with me. Here we go. So I'm on a little energy boost right now. Just got back. Today is Saturday. I'm recording this on Saturday. Saturday the 18th. Just so y'all know where we're at. If you're watching this in the future, welcome back. How is it out there? Is it nice? Is it better? Has it gotten better? You know, in the future, if you're looking back on this. But yeah, just got back from the Artisan Craft Distillery Bar. Was supposed to do two shows, a 7 o'clock and a 9 o'clock. But you know, because there's so many other things going on in town, we wound up just doing the 9 o'clock show, which was fine. You know, we had a hefty crowd of 5 people. We had more comedians on the show than we had audience members, but it's fine. It's fine. And then I walked 2 people, but it's fine. They left. I don't know if they left about something I said or just like they got there like mad early, and I don't know if they were done. In my mind, I'm saying like, oh, they had to go. Something came up. Something important must have came up because I'm killing up here. Well, I wasn't killing, but I'm doing well. I'm doing okay up here. Um, but they left. They walked out in the middle of my set, which is fine. It doesn't hurt at all, especially if like there's only 5 people and then 2 people leave. It's very very noticeable, very noticeable. But to the 3 that made it to the end of the show, to the end of my set, to the end of the rest of the comedians, to the whole show, thank you. You're amazing. And I gotta tell people, like, it doesn't matter. Like, I try never to shit on the crowd. It's never the crowd's fault. They didn't have to be there. There's so much other things going on in the world in San Antonio alone on a Saturday night that I understand that they didn't have to be there, but they were, and I very appreciate them being there and whatnot. Stuck around a little later, gave out some stickers, and say, "Hey, if you liked what I did, tell your face." No, I didn't say that. If you liked what I did, here's my information. These are You can find me, and I swear I'm better than this. I swear I've done really good before. Um, no, they were good. They were great. Um, so yeah, so usually after a show, usually after a set, I'm pretty up. I'm pretty energized and whatnot. So, and now I came back to do a podcast because it's Pat at a Hell Day on Monday, and I need to make sure I have content out there. That's part of the game, right? Is that part of the game? I don't know, but had a eventful week, man. We had an eventful week. Monday I did a pod with the homies, the Duder Man homie bro. Did a podcast with with the fellas, with Scott Ramos, with Jacob Flores, and then we had Justin Byers uh, on the fucking episode, dude. And it was fun, dude. Justin Byers is hilarious. He's a hilarious dude, but he's in Austin now, and I guess he kind of stepped away from doing comedy and whatnot. He's got to get back into it. He needs to get back into it. He's fucking hilarious. But yeah, so did the podcast on Monday, the Duder Man Homie Bro podcast on Monday. We're trying to boost those numbers up on that. We're trying to boost the numbers up on that. And I know it's a new podcast, and there's millions of podcasts out there. Believe me, I have 500,000 of my own that I started, which they're on the archives. If you subscribe to the Pat Out of Hell on Spotify or iTunes or wherever else you can find the Pat Out of Hell podcast, even if you go on the Babacoa Core YouTube page, the archives, you can go back and see past episodes from the my first podcast, which is the Babacoa Core. Well, that's not true. The first podcast that I ever started was called What Another Podcast. It's a long story, but I did 3 episodes of that. Then I switched that idea to the Babacoa Core podcast, and then I tried to branch off to the X Lives podcast, to the Quarantine Buddies podcast that I did with the wife, and then I did Let's Start a Fucking Band podcast, Glass Clown podcast, which was fun times. And I talked to one of the guests that I had on there, Bobby Smith, owner and operator of Upstage Comedy Lounge, and he's like, "How come you don't do that anymore, man?" Because his episode was very good. It was a very good episode. They were all good. All great episodes. I think I only did like 10 episodes of that because at that time, the Glass Clown podcast idea was something that I needed for myself. I was having a really dark time, and it was just a way for me to not feel I guess alone in what is a dark time. It was a way to kind of like share how other people go through things like mental health issues, how they through it, how they deal with it, and how they get by or get over whatever, how they handle it using comedy or whatever else they would use to get through whatever it is that they need to get through. That was a Glass Clown podcast, which I stopped doing just because I felt like there was one episode that I had to take down at the guest request after the fact, which was okay. I didn't push on it. They hit me up and they're like, "Hey, can you just take down that episode that we did?" And I was like, "Yeah, not a problem." But that just brought to my attention. I was like, "Man, I don't want to cause any problems. I don't want to feel like I'm exploding." I'm gonna have a hard time with this. I didn't want to feel like I was taking advantage of somebody's situation. Like and the risk versus reward for that type of podcast at my level rather, just wasn't worth it. Because people go on there and they name names, they share stories with other people besides them or in addition to them are involved with, and maybe those people don't want their stories out there. Exploit. I think that's the word. I'm going with that. I toy with the idea of bringing that back because I did really have not a good time, but it was very cathartic. It was very therapeutic for me, and I want to say it was kind of therapeutic for the person out there because you get to go on a podcast on a platform and you get to express yourself. You get to talk through the things that you go through, that we go through, that maybe the listener may go through as well. So it was that kind of thing, and it was meant to be a positive out of negative. But either way, I don't know if I'm going to bring that one back, But the Glass Clown podcast, the 10 episodes, the 10 or so episodes that I did put out, those are very good. So if you do like to go back in the archives, that's on the Pat at Hell channel, podcast platform channels. Check it out, man. Check it out, or dig deep into the YouTubes of when I had the Glass Clown podcast on there, and check those out and see if you connect with any of those. And maybe I'll bring that one back. I don't know yet. But and what else was I talking about? Oh, I don't know. I've been on this Stone Temple Pilots trip, dude. Do you remember how good Stone Temple Pilots was? Like they're amazing. The sound, the riffs were so fucking good. The riffs were so fucking good. I was always a fan of Scott Weiland's performance, his voice, his dancing, and I'm not gonna lie. When I listen to music in the privacy of my own vehicle or my own car, or when I'm really drunk, I dance like Scott Weiland dances. On stage and all that stuff. I'm all flailing and all that shit. I don't care if I'm listening to Throwdown, Converge, or Janet Jackson. I'm feeling it, dude. It just when you see Scott Weiland and like if you're older than that, like you could think of like Mick Jagger. If you're younger than that, then go fuck yourself. I don't know. I don't have an example for you, but I'm the '90s. Stone Temple Pilots. It was a whole thing where like all these skinny, heroin chic, singers, whatnot. They could just get away with just fucking going up there and just they could feel the music and they could flail and they could like be all skinny and shit and just doing their stuff and people are just like he looks like he's performing his ass off. He's performing his ass off right now, and all he's just doing is just like I can't feel my limbs because I'm on so much heroin. But if I do that in public, people think I just didn't wipe properly, which isn't fair, you know. What, a fat guy can't flail about? A fat guy can't just move and stuff without you thinking that he's not just a fucking great dancer? I'm a fucking amazing dancer, by the way. I was born and raised with rhythm, you know. And then to be a drummer on top of that, what do you think's gonna happen? You think I'm gonna be a solid drummer, if I do say so myself, a awesome, amazing drummer, if I do say so myself, and not be a goddamn great dancer? Get the fuck out of here, dude. I'm an amazing dancer. I just don't do that in public because I don't think it's acceptable. I don't appreciate the looks that I get when I'm in my fucking groove with shit, you know? But bet when I'm in my car or when I'm alone, you know, and just with the headphones on and I just zone out and I'm just fucking flailing, I'm fucking Scott Weiland everything, dude, because it makes music more enjoyable. And if you're not going to enjoy the music, then why are you doing that to yourself? Again, there's some music you can't flail to, obviously. And I get down when I get down when I get downs, you know? You can't do that shit to Pedro the Lion. I've tried, you know? You can't do that shit to Daniel Johnston. I've tried, you know? You can sometimes do it to Amigo the Devil. It's awkward a bit, but it doesn't make as much unsense as when you're doing it to Stone Temple Pilots and fucking just feel flail about. Imagine me. I've been down. If I'm not moshing, I'm fucking. If I'm deep in the crowd, like at a live concert, if I'm deep in the crowd, I'm fucking wilding out. I'm fucking Scott wilding out, you know? Because I don't give a fuck. I see people out there and they're just fucking going out looking stupid. Like, I've gotten seasick at certain shows because certain people don't know how to dance. And of course, if you're having fun, be you. Do you 100% of the time. If it feels nice, if it feels fun, if you're having a good time, it doesn't matter what you look like. Be Elaine Bennis out there on the dance floor. Do you? I know when I do it, I fucking look hot as fuck. I'm fucking sexy, fat Scott Weiland with my fucking self, dude. But people judge, and I don't like it. So I just keep that shit to myself. You know. Uh, yeah. I don't know why I went off on that, but yeah, dude. I dug up the because I saw the last time I saw STP was in 2008. 2008 they did the Bumbershoot, which is a music festival in Seattle, and it's near my birthday, so I used to go every year. Dude, I remember the first Bumbershoot I went to. It was I had just moved to Seattle, and I had made some connections, but I didn't have like any. I had made connections like on through Craigslist and whatnot for bands looking for a drummer and stuff, but I had yet to make any friends out there, and so my birthday was like weeks after I moved there, and I went to Bumbershoot all by myself, and I got shit faced wasted all by myself, and I remember going home and I was so depressed. I was so sad because all these people were all around me in their little groups and stuff, and it was my birthday, and I think it was before like it was like obligation or obligatory uh, Facebook happy birthdays and whatnot. So I didn't get that many like happy birthday shout outs on the socials, on the MySpace and whatnot. But but yeah, I remember that Bumbershoot. It was a very sad, depressing one because it was my birthday and I was all by myself in this new place. But shortly after, things changed and I met friends and I went to concerts not by myself anymore, and had drunken moments not by myself anymore, and that's what it's all about. That's what life is all about. But anyway, STP 2008 at the Bumbershoot Music Festival in Seattle Center. STP had closed it out. They closed out the night, and it was fucking amazing. Forget the fact that they were like almost an hour late from their set time. Forget the fact that the drummer, for some reason, couldn't keep tempo and played like their hit songs at like almost half the tempo. Because heroin's weird, alcohol's weird, and I don't know what they were doing. I don't know if they were like trying to piss each other off, but like a lot of their songs were like slow, like sex type things. It's supposed to be like a banger and shit. It was more like of a jazz sex type thing. But yeah, I've been deep diving on fucking Stone Temple Pilots, and I made a whole playlist of their 2008 set list. Like I like to do that. Like you could keep your greatest hits that the record company puts together on their own. And like, well, these were great on the radio. Okay, that's fine. But what fucking hit live? What was their live set like? Let's try to recreate that. And so when I make playlists, I fucking pull up like either a concert that I went to. A concert I went to for sure is my go-to. Like I have a glass straw set list from this point, whatever, this music festival, whatever. Um, every time I die, same thing. No, I have years of their different set lists, and I make playlists off of their set list and stuff. But created a Stone Temple Pilot set list, and I've been fucking uh, all week I've been on that shit, and it's a little bit sad, but it's also like it's nostalgic, and I like being nostalgic. You know me, I look back all the time, because I hate the present, and the future scares me. Not that the present's bad, but I just like, and not that my past was always sunny in Philadelphia and whatnot, but I look fondly at like moments that I really enjoy, and the 2008 uh, Bumbershoot Stone Temple Pilot set was pretty fun. But yeah, so Wednesday, I did. I was at LOL and I did Raul Sanchez's show. He has the Revolver showcase, and I was so stoked to be asked. Raul's one of my favorite comics. He's done so many great things. He has an epics, a couple epic specials, I believe, and he has some YouTube specials out there, a couple albums out there, and he's a great writer, great comic. So when he asked me to do Revolver, this was the second time doing Revolver. I was like, yeah, dude, hell yeah, dude. And it was a great show. They had Stephen Farmer and Ty Wynn from Austin, and then my homie Scott Ramos was on there. Mike Suarez from You Know What Dude, and he produces a bunch of New York podcasts and stuff. But he was in town, so he was on the show too. And Mia Valdez, and everybody was fucking killing it. Everybody was fucking having a good time. The crowd was good. And then I go up there, and I had the roughest start I've ever had in my life. And I just turned the crowd off immediately. And once the crowd doesn't like me, they made up their mind, you know. Like, I'm not saying that you could do like dark stuff, or you can't do dark stuff rather, but you have to get their trust first before you start throwing out uh, some gnarly shit, you know. And and so yeah, but and the thing that sucks is like I don't know. I think I know what's funny, but I don't know that it's really funny until I get the crowd's reaction. And so I've had this same start for a couple of sets, and it's never worked, and it didn't work this night. And I was just digging. I was doing 15 minutes, and I was just digging and digging. And I would get them every now and then, and then they would just remember like, oh yeah, we don't like you, and which is fine. It was my fault. I started off really bad, and then I kept like digging and digging, and I don't like that. I don't enjoy that. Like, there's some comics that like to dig themselves out of a hole, and then when they dig themselves out of the hole, they're like, abracadabra, look what I just did. You love me now. But I definitely am not one of those. I'm a wave rider, and I need you to love me as soon as I get on stage. But and then to make matters worse, I ran the light by like 3 minutes. I was only supposed to do 15 minutes. I did 18, and if you don't know comedy, or if you don't know like comedy etiquette, running the light is like a no-no. You don't do that. If somebody books you for the show and it says I'm giving you 15 minutes, you do 15 minutes and that's it. You don't do 18. But I was just so like I was so out of it. I was so like trying to get the audience on my side, and I was just trying everything. I was throwing out everything. I was just throwing out everything, to the fact where I just didn't see the light. And then I checked my watch, because I also time myself on the watch, but I don't really look at my watch too much. But I'm trying to fix my hat because I don't feel like it's centered. But yeah, when I looked at my watch, I was like 18. I was like, oh fuck, okay, I gotta go. And yeah, dude, I felt really bad about that, because I felt like I didn't want to feel like I was disrespecting the show. A bomb's a bomb's a bomb. If a comic goes up there and like they bomb, it happens. But running the light, that's something that you could avoid, that I should have avoided. So I was that was weighing very heavy on my shoulders. You know, if you think like, yeah, like the social media life, like you only post like the good stuff. Don't think that I'm gonna lie to you about like, oh, I fucking killed, bad, bad, bad. I did this show and I fucking killed. No, man, I've bombed a lot. Out of all the good shows, all the good sets, all the decent sets that I've done, I've had a lot of bombs in my life. It's just that I just didn't want to bomb on this show. One, because it was at LOL. Two, because it was Raul Sanchez's show, and three, because I hate it. I hate bombing. It sticks with you. It like I was driving home from that night. I was from that set, and I had shivers. It was that bad. Like, I was just remembering the feelings. I was like, ugh. Even the next day, I was just like, I need to wash this. I need to wash this bomb off me. Um, And so that's what you got to do. You're only as good, like your last set was, that's only as good as you're going to be as your last set. And I know that sentence that I just like attempted didn't make any sense, but if you fix it yourself and you understand it, that's what I was trying to say. Uh, so yeah. So Thursday night, I mean, I was still like in shell shock. I was like, I don't want to go. I don't want to do this anymore. And I was stressed out about my Friday show, but we'll go into that in a little bit. But Thursday, I went to the Tandem open mic, and I did good. The crowd was good. They had a DJ, and I did this thing. One of my favorite sets from Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac did a set for Def County Jam, I believe, and he goes out there and he's like, I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. And then he'll do like a setup punchline, and then he'll go DJ kick it, and then and the crowd goes wild and stuff, and then it's like cut it, and then he'll doing the set like kick it, and so I was like, fuck it, we have a DJ here, and I'm just trying to have a good time, whatever. So I fucking played along with it, and like, instead, like the DJ was there, but instead of playing like a song, I could like, not that I was gonna dance on there. I just remember what I just said about my Scott Weiland dancing, so I wasn't gonna dance up there, but I was like, kick it, and the DJ just pressed like a drop, like the bomb drop, like the. I was like, yeah, that works. That works too. I'll take that. But had fun at the tandem mic. Got my confidence back a little bit, not fully. You know, that's how bad Wednesday was. Is that just because I had a good open mic set doesn't mean that my confidence was 100%. Had my first show in Austin. Well, I've done the Creek in the Cave once, but that was a Tiger show. It was a bunch of Tiger comics, blind Tiger comics, that drove up there from San Antonio to do the Creek in the Cave on a Sunday, and that was fun. I was like, I'm glad I was on this stage that a lot of famous comedians are going to be on or have been on, whatnot. But so this was my first book show in Austin, and I was hella nervous about this, and I'll go into that a little bit. But it was at the Fallout Theater in Austin, which is a great fucking spot. Please support. If you're in Austin, support the Fallout Theater. If you visit Austin, support the Fallout Theater. I think they have something live comedy every day. So you have every opportunity, if you're in Austin, to check out the Fallout Theater. But it was a show called Sure Thing. And it was a fire lineup, a fire lineup. It was Mac Blake, and Doug Millard, which both have won funniest in Austin, the funniest in Austin competition. Mac Blake has I don't know if they both have it. I couldn't find Doug Millard's, but Mac Blake has a great album out that he put out. I think it's called Bird Drugs. I don't know if that's true, but I'm not gonna look it up right now. But it was fire. Bang, 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 bang. I think he put that out in like 2016 or something like that. But and then Vanessa Gonzalez. Vanessa Gonzalez has just got off a tour with Chelsea, not Chelsea lately, Chelsea Handler, Chelsea Handler, and then she's been on Comedy Central, Netflix, HBO, all that stuff. She's been on, and then me, and I was like, this is like not with me in it, but I was like, just those three, fire lineup. Like, oh, this is gonna be a great show. So I was hella nervous about that. My first show in Austin, hella nervous about that. But I was driving and I was trying to get this in the zone. And like I said, I've been on this STP trip, so I'm up there. I'm driving up there, and realize I'm gonna be like just barely on time. I wanted to get there early, but I left late. So I'm just trying to get zen, get in the right state of mind. So I'm just listening to STP, and I'm singing the words that I know, and then I'm making up the words that I don't, and I'm just fucking jamming, and it's got violin and all that stuff, and was trying to just get my mind right for the show, you know. And I show up, and I find out third on. Well, it's the two hosts. The two hosts do their the 10-minute sets, uh, and and then bring on the booked guest. And so I go on, and the crowd was just on fire from the get go. I kind of like bounced off the last person's set. I'm not gonna go into it. I don't want to ruin anything, but I just kind of like tagged off the person before me's set, Mac Blake's set, and started off like that, and it was just like boom, 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 boom. Felt amazing, dude. I was like, thank you very much. Thank you very much for having fun with me. This was a blast. And then I was able to relax. I was able to relax, and I tried to chit chat with the new comics, the Austin comics and stuff. And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. But I did that show in Austin, and then I drove as fast as I could to catch the midnight show at the Blind Tiger. I was able to go out, late in the midnight set, which was great because I just came out from like this sold out Fallout theater uh, to 6 people at the midnight show, but they were fun, dude. I had fun with them. Um, and then did the Artisan tonight, and that's where we are in the world of Patrick Christopher. And this has been Pat out of Hell. Oh yeah, I said I was gonna go into that thing about why I was so in my head about Austin. I'll just make it real quick. There was an Austin comic that critiqued my year one um, recording. I submitted a recording to be considered for something. You know, and she hit me up and she asked if I wanted criticism or critique rather, and I was like, yeah, dude, like yeah, whatever you have, let me have it. What do I need to work on? What is this? And she just fucking tore me apart. You got lazy joke writing. You're gross. You know, you got easy jokes. You'll never get booked in Austin. She's an Austin comic now. She's like, you'll never get booked in Austin with this bullshit. But keep up the good work. Work on your set. And even though she probably forgot, or they probably forgot, he, she, doesn't matter. Even though they probably forgot about that critique, that rough critique that they gave me, they fucking live in my head rent free. You know, rent free. Still, 3 years, 3.5 years later, I'm still like, I think about that. It was that whole thing of like, you'll never get booked in Austin with this bullshit. And even though a lot has changed for in my writing style and what I think is funny, what I think is not funny, what I think was shock factor or shock value, whatever. Um, Back then, I realized the difference between year one and year four of my writing, of my performing, of all that stuff. But just the whole thing of like, because I am who I am, and I've always been who I've been comedically, you know. But just the fact that she's like, you'll never get booked in Austin with this shit. So I never even tried. I never reached out to any Austin comics because I was like, they'll find me if they want to find me and all that stuff. And then just recently, I just decided to send out a clip to some bookers in Austin, and I got Sure Thing, and I got uh, Slackers Showcase, and I got Casa Moreno's. I got Let's Talk About It. All in the same month, all in the same time that I tried to reach out and introduce myself, submit a clip, and then I got picked up for these shows in Austin. And now that I did the Sure Thing show and I did well, I feel like I did well. I feel like I had a great crowd response, and I feel like I'm on the map, or not on the map, but I'm on the radar of some very talented Austin comedians. Um, I think I could finally let that go. That critique that tore me apart. That critique that haunted me from year one of me doing this. I think I could finally let that go and just be good with what I have now and progress here on, you know, and do what I could do. But that's neither here nor there. It doesn't matter now. Now I'm more comfortable in the act that I have now, and I think I mesh well. I match well with some outstanding Austin comics, um, or at least enough to hold my own on a show that I'm on with them. And I'm very grateful that I had that opportunity. I'm very grateful that I was booked to do the Sure Thing show at the Fallout Theater, and but that show really helped me out a lot, and hopefully it shows in my growth and whatnot. Moving forward, you know. But yeah, I didn't want to end on a downer like that. Well, it's not really a downer. It's like it's a happy ending. Hey, it's a good ending to a thing that I've held on to way too long, and now I feel like I could let it go, and I'm gonna. And so yeah, that's it for this week. Thank you very much for checking out the Pat Out of Hell podcast. Twitter and Instagram at your homie Pat, and TikTok at your homie Pat. BravoCoreCore.com. Please like and subscribe. Follow me. Check out my upcoming dates. And if you got any shows that need somebody to do some time, hit me up, dude. I love comedy, and hopefully one day comedy will love me too. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you're doing good. I was gonna get into this whole thing, but I'll wait till next week to get into that. It's about friendships, and it's about making time for the important people of your life and still doing comedy. I haven't figured it out yet. I just have a whole lot of complaints and observation about it, but that will be on the next Pat Out of Hell podcast, because it's simmering, it's marinating in there, and then I'm gonna talk about it next week. But hopefully you're doing good. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at your homie Pat, BabaCoreCore.com, and I'll check you next week. Peace.